Now, back on a Tuesday, President Myung and Japanese Prime Minister Sanae reaffirmed their resolve to continue constructive cooperation. Our correspondent Song Yoo-jin recaps their earlier exchange and more from the ground.
The second summit between President Lee Jae-myung and Japanese Prime Minister Sanae began with what President Lee described as an exceptional welcome. In a surprise gesture, Prime Minister Takaichi personally received President Lee at his accommodation in Nara. Lee is the first foreign leader to be invited to the prefecture since Takaichi took office last October. Tuesday's summit talks lasted nearly an hour and a half, starting with a restricted session including a small number of aides, followed by an expanded meeting and a joint press briefing. What stood out was what President Lee called a small but meaningful progress on sensitive historical issues, particularly the Chosei coal mine. More than 100 forcibly mobilized Korean laborers and Japanese were killed in a flooding disaster in 1942. Until now, civic groups have led efforts to investigate and recover the victims' remains, but the Japanese government's initial response have been criticized as slow and passive.
82여 년이 지난 작년 8월에서야 유해가 처음으로 발굴된 바가 있습니다. 양국은 동유해의 신원 확인을 위한 DNA 감정을 추진하기로 하고 구체 사항에 대해서는 당국 간 실무적 협의를 진행하기로.
This was the very first issue Prime Minister Takaichi raised during the restricted session. It marks a first step toward fulfilling the long-held wishes of bereaved families and could also serve as a breakthrough in addressing historical issues together, grounded in our shared universal values of human rights and humanitarianism.
And at a time of heightened tensions between China and Japan following Prime Minister Takaichi's remarks on Taiwan, President Lee emphasized the need for South Korea, China, and Japan to find as much common ground as possible and to continue communication and cooperation. The two leaders also underscored the importance of working together to maintain regional stability.
As the strategic environment surrounding the two countries becomes increasingly complex, the importance of Japan-South Korea cooperation and trilateral coordination with the U.S. continues to grow. We reaffirmed our commitment to closely align on North Korea policy, including the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
But it was their one-on-one after the press briefing that took the spotlight. Appearing in matching blue outfits, Lee and Takaichi took part in an impromptu drum performance of the BTS song Dynamite and Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. This was a special event prepared by Japan, reflecting Prime Minister Takaichi's longtime passion for heavy metal drumming. President Lee's visit this time has ensured that the back-and-forth leader-level diplomacy between South Korea and Japan will continue under the Takaichi administration. The focus now shifts to how the two countries will build a more future-oriented, stable partnership from here. Song Yoo-jin, Arirang News, Osaka.